Oh my goodness, I just had such a hissy fit in the glory. I am so unspiritual. But I know, babies, that you take it as it rolls and you accept me as I am. I know that God does. So while I trudge through these lower vibrational frequencies, I thought that I would take a case in point to uh, admonish any of you out there that fall in that boat when you happen to be a basket case. It's all right. Have you ever read David's Psalms? I read Psalm 70 recently. It's like you say, I don't hear petitions or intercessions like this too often, but it's like, God, will you hurry up? It's like, oh my goodness, that's what I sound like in the traffic. God, will you hurry up? Make haste, oh God, to help me. Don't you see what I'm going through? And I've had fundamentalists and new age people come on me when I'm just being basically human. And I lose my composure sometimes. And they're like, well, don't you know you need to mortify your flesh? Or that's your ego, brother. And it's like, when you really start understanding this walk of grace, this walk with Jesus Christ, my liberty doesn't have anything to do with falling in line with some precepts from the fundamentalist church. And it doesn't have much to about listening to Eckhart Tolle either. My present moment, Eckhart Tolle is big on his present moment business, which there's a lot of wisdom in that. However, sometimes my present moment is kind of crunchy. And it's okay. And that's the key to your deliverance when you're in a funk, is that these lower vibrational frequencies, this mire, this pit that we seem to fall in every once in a while, emotionally or psychologically, we start judging ourselves and measuring ourselves, and we've got these spiritual people that come in and out of our lives, and they like set a standard. It's like, no, you got to jump a little higher. We're gonna raise the bar on you. Iron sharpens iron, brother. We're gonna chafe you with a little bit of scorn and smackdown because you need to pull out of your funk. Well, it's not what iron sharpening iron really means anyway. However, that's not the gospel. Setting the standard high. It's about the condescension of Christ where you are. Him meeting you where you are. The book of Romans says that we should weep when others weep, and that we should mourn when they mourn. And the book of Proverbs says that when you sing songs to a heavy heart, it's like pouring vinegar on soda. You're going to cause a whole lot of drama, and it makes just a big old mess. So can we just please start cutting the super spiritual bullshit that all you new age people and your egos and your fundamentalists with your sanctification processes are all about? Let's learn a lesson from David, who came unhinged, who understood his freedom and his acceptance in Christ, that where he was at, God, will you hurry up? And think about the bloody Psalms. I mean, he prayed, and he said, and he emoted, and he poured out his heart in ways that we don't even scratch the surface of. I know in a lot of worship services, I pour out my heart. I've been to worship services. I know what that's like. Raise my hands and singing to the Lord. There's moments of intimacy, moments of ecstasy in those blessed times of worship. But I'm challenged in that, because there's a place and an entrance in worship that we bypass by and large, because we've got these lofty standards set too flippin' high that we completely miss the fact that God's joined himself with us in the midst of the mire. So let's quit being so super spiritual about all this and accept the undoneness, the loss of composure, the humanness. You don't need a holiday to be wholly human, babies. You don't need to take a day off from work to fall apart. We don't need to continue in our hamster wheel and schedule on our planners when we're going to become undone. It just happens. When you're wholly human, you don't need a holiday, and it just kind of takes care of itself. There's a time for pouring out the heart. And sometimes pouring out the heart isn't pretty. You get your slick, produced worship services where there are touching moments and intimacy. But if that intimacy isn't without maybe a little bit of scurf and crunchiness that's on the surface of your heart as you pour out, God, will you hurry up? That is an initiation. That is a key. That is a first step possibly in a worship service. When you trust in your place in Christ, that he'll hear your complaint and you accept your humanity and you let him lead you from that wherever he may. A little bit of a challenge towards authenticity here for you, babies. I hope you can receive it. I love you a whole lot.